Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Sethum and welcome back to another video guide. This is more a bit of a showcase rather than a guide. In this one I'm going to be showing you guys how powerful the Relic Hunter Treasure Seekers are. I have made a similar video, but this one is a bit more in depth. So if you folks enjoy this video, please do not forget to support me in the channel by hitting that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and haven't already for more similar content from myself. And if you have just subscribed, why not check out some of my other videos and guides here on this channel? Who knows, you might just enjoy them. Also, for those interested, you can always find me on the Setopia Discord. Links to this, of course, you can find down below in the video's description, as well as in a pinned comment from myself. So, as I said at the beginning of the video, I'm just going to be showing you what you can do with the Relic Hunter Treasure Seekers. Now, to me, this is one of the most powerful thralls that you can get in the game. Of course, you can get the named thralls that are a bit more powerful, but that does take a bit of time grinding a specific spot to try and get the thrall that you want. Whereas with these guys, it's a guaranteed get. You will find them and you can tame them. You will always find a Relic Hunter Treasure Seeker in the locations that I've shown in my previous videos. So for what it is an extremely powerful thrall, and what I'm going to be doing in this video is I'm going to be showing how easy these guys make the world bosses and farming them in the game. So as you can see, they have a decent amount of HP. I have equipped my thrall with the Silent Legion armor. I do have some mods here, so there'll be the armor mod that I'll put on them. I also have the spiked weapon fitting. So with that being said and done, we're going to be doing some of the bosses, amongst which the Spider Queen, right? The giant spider. So the way I would do it, as you can see, is I will shoot an arrow at it, wait for my thrall to engage it, and then swap to an item of my choice or weapon of my choice and start hacking at the legs. Now, of course, you can't let your thrall do this by itself. It should be able to do so. It has the Sword of Crom equipped, which is an amazing sword for thralls. Not very good for you as a player, but as you can see, the giant spider is a walk in the park. All of these things are easy to get. I have videos and guides for these showing you how to get them. I think the only one that is a bit more iffy to get would be the Sword of Crom. There is a bit of farming involved to get that, but once you have it, it is an amazing weapon. And with the Silent Legion armor and the Sword of Crom, your thrall will be a killing machine. Now, of course, if I wanted to, I can swap out to daggers and do damage that way, so I'll just do that. And I always forget to unequip a weapon before I decide to swap it out, which is, I don't know why I do that. Anyways, so if you want to do that, you can go for the torso, but by doing so, this is what can happen. You can get hit by the spider. It will flip around. The best thing I find is to go for the legs. That gives you a bit of breathing room when you do something like this. The thralls can take on pretty much any boss, world boss. Oh, hello. And you can take them in pretty much any dungeon. There are two exceptions though. If you're gonna do the dregs, make sure that instead of a melee weapon at the boss, that your thrall has a bow equipped. Otherwise, the thrall will want to fight the boss with a melee weapon and will end up kind of jumping in the pool of venom, poison, whatever that is, whatever that green stuff is. So you don't really want that. Now, as it is, that does not do damage to the thralls, but that might change in the future, which is why I recommend a bow. You can, of course, also take on the alligator boss, which is very easy to farm. The only thing with the alligator boss, of course, is he does do a tail swipe, which is a 360 thing, so you might want to use arrows for that. I also have some healing arrows, so if you want to heal them up quick, just use 2 healing arrows. That pretty much sorts it out. It does heal you as well So that is quite a nice thing to do. So if you find yourself in trouble, swap to your healing arrows, plant a few of them in the ground underneath you, let them heal you up. The next one that we're going to be doing is the dragon. Now, with the dragon, there is a bit of a thing. This is why I'm showing the dragon once he spawns in, or renders in. He should be there. He is. You can try and dot him from a distance, and it works just fine. The only issue with it is that if you're too far away, your thrall will want to come to you, which will bring the dragon to you, and it's just, yeah. You can, of course, or what I would do is I would stack... Oop, gotta get out of there. I don't want to be in front of him. So, there we go. He's going to spit fire now. So, do be careful for that little head shake thing, tremor, whatever. You know, you will do a little head tremor. So, this is what you can expect to see on the alligator crocodile boss, even. Oh, dear me. Yeah, so you can expect that tail swipe mechanic on the crocodile boss. That is a knockback as well. Going back to the fighting technique with this guy. Whoop, he got me. What I would do is stack 10... Whoop, he got me there as well. I wasn't fast enough. Stack 10 poison on him. Then go in with the daggers. Stack bleed on him. Then swap back to the bow, stack poison on him. I would recommend having two separate bows, one equipped with the snake arrows, which will stack poison, the other one equipped with the healing arrows. That way you can heal both yourself as well as your thrall. Whoa, hello. He's going to spit fire. Oh, that was so lucky. So I managed to get underneath his head to avoid the fire. Oh, I need to get out. There we go. That's a 360 tail spin. The croc boss does the exact same thing. So I'm going to stack poison on him. The snake arrows don't do that much damage, and whatever damage I get from these arrows will be primarily from the bow. Now, I personally prefer using the dragon bone weapons because they are just as good as the legendary weapons, but a lot easier to repair in that they only require dragon bone to repair. So for me, farming the dragon bone, as you will see, is ridiculously fun and easy. And normally I try and do this from a distance, but I do want to get stuck in and hit it a couple of times as well, because it's fun. But as you can see, my thrall does not really have a big issue with taking the damage. It does it like a pro. So I'm going to need to put a couple of healing arrows underneath him sooner or later. Now, I could have done this without the healing arrows. It would have been a very close call. And in my opinion, of course, the dragon bosses are the hardest bosses in the game. That is my personal opinion and experience so far in the game. I mean, people might find different bosses different and difficult. But to me, these guys are the most difficult to do. And I do like a challenge. So... Plus, they do give out the dragon bone, which I tend to stock up on because, hey, I like the stuff that I can use it for. So, what I'll do is, or what I recommend, if you're going to do this, is obviously try and hit him from behind the tail. That way, you get to see when he turns towards you and gives you enough time to run away, as I did there. Once you're far enough from him, stack up the poison. Then stack up the bleed, swap back to the poison, and so on. So I need to repair my daggers. Now the downside to the dragon bone weapons is that their durability is bad, and so they will break a lot more often than other things. However, the cost of repair is quite cheap from my perspective. So I'm going to shoot a couple of these healing arrows. Wait for that. Put some underneath me as well. And as you can see, the Thralls doing alright. I don't know how much the healing has helped. I mean, surely it's helped a bit. But it does get knocked back quite a bit. So now time to poke its tail. Be careful not to get underneath its butt for that reason. Just that right there. If you're at the tip of the tail, you do have a chance of getting out of there. If you are underneath its butt, right there, you can do a 180 and knock you down. So I normally try and go for the tip of the tail if I can. Oh, that's gonna hurt me. Yep. Now obviously the terrain is not even, and so his tail might be sticking up. So at this point I am just going to continue stacking up the poison on him. Gonna give myself some time to heal. Maybe heal my Thrall as well. So I'm trying to find him. There we go. Oh, I missed that completely. Oh, so that is one of the big issues with healing your Thrall. They will get knocked back quite often. So the dragon does not have his poison on him, so let's make sure he does now. The downside to fighting these guys is that most of their attacks, as you have seen so far, involves a knockback or a knockdown in some form or shape. So your Thrall won't get too many hits on it, but every little counts, especially with the Sword of Crom. You can also use the Lifeblood Spear that will primarily heal your Thrall. However, once your Thrall gets hit, it will cancel out the healing, so you might want 2 Lifeblood Spears if you're going to go for that sort of system. But as you can see, to me, as I said, the dragons are the hardest bosses in the game. I don't think I actually struggle with any of the bosses, whether it is a world boss or a dungeon boss. However, they are still quite easy in my opinion, especially since the Relic Hunter treasure seekers have been introduced in the game. That just makes the quality of life and farming these creatures so much easier. There's no building involved now. As you can see, my Thrall's really good. I'm just, obviously, I didn't even need to use the healing arrows. I just prefer to make sure that my Thrall is got as much health as possible. Going back, because I just forgot, there are 2 dungeons I said that you don't want to take your Thralls in, or be careful if you do. The first one would be the dregs, and I did say why or how to go about it, and that is to use bows on the boss at the end of the dungeon. And the other one you really don't want to take a Thrall in would be the Well of Skelos. Now, obviously, mind you, you'll have to walk towards the Well of Skelos, and sometimes your Thrall will come with you. Most times they will end up dying as you go into the dungeon, or as you wander about the area to get into the dungeon. And to lose such a powerful Thrall with such good gear is quite a shame. Now, what's happened to me quite a couple of times is that the Thrall died after I entered the dungeon. I'm not sure what happens there, if it's a bug or what. I have noticed that the Thrall was able to actually follow the right path and avoid the lava. However, once I entered the dungeon, the Thrall pretty much died out. So don't take him in there. I mean, the Well of Skelos itself is not a difficult dungeon, and I will have a guide for that as well. So you can totally solo it with what is currently in the game, especially if you have the Silent Legion armor set, which again is a very easy thing to obtain. So with that said, ooh, dear me, that was foolish of me. With that, ooh, hey, don't look at me. So with that said, as you can see, the boss is nearly dead. Once he's dead, you want to farm him for all the goodies. I normally use a carving knife, or not a carving knife, a meat cleaver, or a pickaxe, because I want the bones. That is what interests me more out of these creatures than anything else. Now, because he's nearly dead, I am risking it, and I am just going in there. I think I can take him out before he actually kills me. So that was a bit of a gamble right there. As you can see, my Thralls done really well. Obviously, the healing arrows, although he didn't stay in the healing cloud itself very often, did help by quite a little bit. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, if you can do the dragon boss, you can pretty much do any other boss in the game. So as I said, this is the place you don't want to take them. This is a bad place for Thralls. I'm not sure if they touch the lava and that kills them, or if they die because of some sort of bug, but they do die in the volcano, so you'll want to do that solo. So that's kind of it for what I wanted to showcase. As you saw there was no real struggle at any given time, and these guys just make doing the bosses and farming them so much easier, and actually a lot of fun as well, and doable. You know, if these guys were once difficult to do and required a lot of preparation, now they are pretty much a walk in the park, and that's kind of what I wanted to show off. With that being said and done, that is it for this particular video, folks. I do hope that you have enjoyed it and found it useful and informative. If you have, please don't forget to support me and the channel by hitting that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and haven't already for more similar content from myself. And if you have just subscribed, why not check out some of my other videos and guides here on this channel? Who knows, you might just enjoy them. Also, for those interested, you can always find me on the Sethtopia Discord. Links to this, of course, you can find down below in the video's description, as well as in a pinned comment from myself. Until next time, stay safe, folks.